Paying for parking, I would think I would get to park somewhere a bit closer than Dishfalk, way out in the middle of nowhere where none of my courses are.
I got a parking ticket for on moving day for $50, and I don't understand why the campus gives out so many parking tickets.
It would be nice to have more parking around campus so we wouldn't have to take the bus and go through all the stops and everything.
Build more parking garages and then just don't charge anything for them. I mean, I'm already paying enough to go here.
Knowing the ins and outs about the rules and where you cannot park and how you park there, how you pay, or what kind of permit you might need is a little difficult.
It's making me nervous, yeah.
My name's Bobby Stone. I'm the Director of Parking and Transportation Services here at the University of Texas at Austin. We have about 16,000 parking spaces on campus, and on any given day, we maybe have 70,000 people that might be coming to campus. And so protecting those spaces and managing those spaces becomes very, very important to us so that we can make sure that everyone that has a permit can find a place to park here on campus. We're an auxiliary service. We're 100% self-funded. We get no money for parking from the state, no money from tuition, no money from the university. And so we're a completely pay-as-you-go unit. We base our pricing on what our expenses are. And those expenses, our largest expenses right now is the parking garages. We have a debt service on those garages. That equals about $6.5 million a year. And so the fees and things that we charge equate back to the amount of money that we need to collect in order to break even on any given year. The University of Texas is pretty much landlocked. You know, we've got the Capitol on one side, we've got residential areas all around us, and that's kind of, in a nutshell, one of the biggest issues that we have. There's not a lot of land left in terms of if the university wants to build new academic buildings, and as we expand and different departments build buildings, then really the only place available for them to put those buildings is in what used to be a parking lot. And so as we lose those lots, then the challenge becomes how we replace those particular spaces. And what we do is we've been building a series of garages over the last 20 years to kind of replace the real estate that we lose for academic buildings. Our pricing is based on convenience. So there is some close-in parking for students, but some of the parking is remote. And most of that is because they come and go on a regular basis, and we want to keep the inner part of campus, the traffic as low as possible. And so that's why we relocated the students out to the edges of campus, because that keeps the bulk of the campus free of cars, and it makes it a much friendlier place for pedestrians and bicycles and things like that. Especially for a lot of students, email is a really good way for them to get in contact with us. We also have a Twitter account for our event parking that we send out notices through that Twitter account that alerts people to things that are going on campus on a regular basis, so they'll be kind of aware of what they might want to avoid or when they need to move a car or things like that. So I would invite anyone and everyone to sign up for that Twitter account. We'll be glad to send you notices about all kinds of event parking here on campus. For when we have large-scale events like football game, we'll put signs up that tell people if they need to relocate from a certain location. If they don't relocate from those locations, then we do tow. But what we do is if we find vehicles that are in the location prior to towing, we contact those people either by email or by phone to give them a last opportunity to come and try to move their car. They're always welcome to come here if they feel like that they need to talk to a person, but we also offer a full-service website. We have a section of that site that's called My Parking Profile, and if you go into My Parking Profile, it'll tell you what permits are available to you. You could purchase that permit. It'll also show you citations that are due. You can take care of those citations online. You could pay them or you could appeal them. And so there's not really a need to have to come here for a lot of things. A lot of the business that we conduct can be conducted at any time from your home computer. I think the most important thing is to read the signs, to make sure that you have a permit, and to make sure that you park completely in the space. And since we have such a limited number of spaces, it becomes really important for us to protect those spaces for the students and the faculty and staff that's paid for them. And so we do enforce very heavily all the lots to make sure if you paid for a space, that space remains open for you. And then if you're in that lot, then we enforce that you only use one space, because we've got lots of people looking for spaces, and it's important that we have all the spaces available at any given time.